Hey guys, it's Saga from TechWorks. In this video, let's put the cameras of the ASUS Zenfone Max Pro M2 against the cameras of the POCO F1. From its dedicated camera review and comparison with the Redmi Note 6 Pro, we know that this camera has got a lot of potential. So many people actually wanted to know if they can get the Max Pro M2, save some money, and still end up with camera performance that is somewhat close to the POCO F1. Max Pro M2 starts at 12,999 rupees, whereas the base variant of the POCO F1 will set you back by 19,999 rupees. This 7,000 rupees difference between base variants of both these phones is pretty significant for most of the people who consider getting these budget smartphones. So I understand that this comparison is going to be really helpful for many of you guys. We have a lot of image and video samples to go through. So to keep this video short, we will go straight to the images and I will let you guys know about the camera specs as we go along. Before we go ahead, just make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the amazing videos coming up on this channel. Starting off with the daytime images, 12 megapixel primary cameras on both these phones capture a lot of details. It is not apparent from the first look, but images from the POCO F1 are slightly sharper and a bit more detailed. This may be because it has a larger individual pixel size of 1.4 micron compared to the 1.25 micron on the Max Pro M2's primary camera. Most of the images from POCO F1 are a bit brighter in comparison, and I also think it shows slightly better colors. I am not saying that the colors from Max Pro M2 are bad, but I prefer the slightly warmer and saturated looking colors in the images from the POCO F1. Color is a personal preference, so you should look at these images and make your decision depending on which ones do you like better. While I like the colors from POCO F1, I just hate the fact that sometimes it just messes up the white balance and adds a weird green tint to its images. This does happen very often, so if you prefer consistent looking colors in your images every time, I will suggest you guys to go with the Max Pro M2. Here are a couple of images with the Hdr mode turned off. Both the images look good on their own with lot of details, but the images are much better once you turn the Hdr mode on. Both of them bring a lot of details from the shadows while maintaining the highlights. I again prefer the images from the POCO F1 because while bringing up the shadows and preserving the highlights, it also preserved the colors, making the overall image look much better. Images from the Max Pro M2 start to look a bit dull in comparison. This is a focusing test from both the phones while shooting 1080p videos at 30 fps. Both of them are accurate and quick at switching the focus from near to far objects and then back again. Quick and accurate focusing plays a big part while you are taking these close-up and macro shots. Background in the images from both the phones is blurred out very nicely thanks to the f1.9 aperture on the POCO F1 and f1.8 aperture on the Max Pro M2. Again, overall dynamic range in these images is better from the POCO F1, but the main subject that is supposed to be in focus is much sharper in the image from the Max Pro M2, while it is a bit softer in the images from the POCO F1. Thanks to the secondary 5 megapixel depth sensor on both these phones, they have the ability to take portrait shots. You can change the amount of blur while you are clicking images on the Max Pro M2. On the POCO F1, you can do that and even apply various light trail and studio lighting effects to the portrait shots after you have clicked the image. Both phones are doing a good job of detecting the edges and separating the subject from the background, but I think portrait shots from POCO seem to be more natural and a bit more refined. Both these phones can also take portrait shots of objects. They are really good at accurately detecting the edges of very complex objects and blurring out rest of the background. Now coming to indoor and low lighting situations. For daytime indoor shots, we can still see the POCO F1 capturing green tint in its images on occasion. But as we move to artificial lighting conditions, it starts capturing much more accurate and natural looking colors. Zenfone Max Pro M2 has a slightly wider aperture compared to the POCO F1, so it should capture more light and result in better looking low light images. But the size of each individual pixel on the POCO F1 is larger than the individual pixel size of the Max Pro M2, so in some of these images, we actually see POCO F1 capturing more details. It also shows better exposure in the areas with bright light compared to the Max Pro M2. Now look at these boards. You can clearly make out what is on them in the images of the POCO F1, but they are overexposed in the images from the Max Pro M2. In some of the images from the POCO F1, there is this weird glitchy watercolor-like effect. Unlike the weird green tint, this one does not show up in many images, so I won't worry too much about it. As we move to even lower lighting conditions, Max Pro M2 captures much sharper images, while the POCO F1 is showing a lot of noise in these shots. On the Max Pro M2, you cannot adjust the exposure while you are in auto mode. So while taking images like these, it is difficult to get the focus and exposure just right. Now that brings us to the front facing cameras. POCO F1 has a 20 megapixel selfie camera with f2.0 aperture, and the Max Pro M2 comes with a 13 megapixel selfie camera again with f2.0 aperture. Despite of the difference in the megapixel count, there is not much difference in the amount of details that both these selfie cameras capture. And for the selfie camera, I prefer slightly warmer and natural looking skin tones from the Max Pro M2. Both can also take portrait selfies, and again here, I prefer the colors from the Max Pro M2. Subject in focus is a bit sharper in the image from the Max Pro M2, and edge detection is slightly better on the POCO F1. That being said, both of them are not perfect, and they can definitely use some refinements via software updates. Here's a video from the front facing camera of the POCO F1 and ASUS Zenfone Max Pro M2. You can see how both these phones are handling the overall exposure of the scene, colors, and stabilization when I'm walking around with them. Max Pro M2 offers electronic stabilization on the front facing camera, so its frame is a bit cropped in compared to the frame of the POCO F1. Both can take 4K 30fps videos, and here are examples of that. There is no stabilization at this resolution, and both of them oversaturate the colors while capturing 4K videos. 1080p 30fps videos are electronically stabilized on both. At this resolution, colors and exposure are better from the POCO F1. POCO also has the option to shoot slow motion and time-lapse videos, but both these features are missing from the Max Pro M2. So after looking at all these image and video samples, it is clear that the POCO F1 has a better camera of the two. But performance of the Max Pro M2 was not too far behind. If you are not in a money crunch and you are trying to decide between these two phones based on their camera performance, I would suggest you to go with the POCO F1. But if you just can't spend over 12,999 rupees, you can just get the Max Pro M2, and trust me, you will still be happy with its camera performance. If you are still confused that which one you should go for based on the camera performance, or if you are just not satisfied with my analysis of these images, I suggest you guys to go back, mute the video, watch the images in the highest resolution that your device supports, and draw your own conclusions that way. So that is it for this video guys. Which of these two phones do you like for its camera performance? Don't forget to let me know in the comment section. And if you want to support the channel, you can purchase these phones from the affiliate links in the description section. It will help the channel a lot at no extra cost to you. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel for more quality tech videos like this. You can also check out some of the other videos from this channel. This has been Sagar, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.